Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today for Sunday Summit. My name is Regan Barassa. If you know me from Instagram, you know me as Pace My Heart there. I call this community Pace Your Heart, where I share what's going on in my life as a 50 plus woman and share my journey. And if it can help anyone, I hope that it does. So I share a lot about my health and just the things that I'm going through. Today I'm honestly not feeling the greatest, but I'm much better than I was. I had a bit of a rocky week in that I wasn't feeling the greatest. I shared on Instagram that I have a UTI or a bladder infection and some kidney pain, so maybe some referral into my kidneys, but I'm on medication which helps both the bladder and my kidneys, and I'm happy to report that I'm not having spasms anymore and feeling more human. Today is the first day that I was feeling better, so I'm got myself ready and went to church, and I shared a bit about that on Instagram. So I don't think this will be real long. As I said, I think I look better than I feel, so I'm going to give you this bit of update of what I did last week and a little bit about what's coming this week, and yeah, that'll be about it. So last week I went on Monday to see the rehab doctor that I did a hip rehab program with in, I guess in the fall, well, right until before Christmas. I've had ongoing hip issues, and I do injections into my bursa in my right hip to help with osteoarthritis. And my family doctor referred me to this great program called GLAD, which is funded through Alberta Health if your family doctor happens to be in their network. So it's a little confusing to me, but if you're interested, I think all of the Momentum clinics around the city, if you're in Calgary, offer the program. And it's Alberta wide, so if you're in Alberta, you could ask your doctor about it. And it's a program specifically for people with osteoarthritis, and it helps with knees and back issues. And it's a 7-week program, and it's paid. If you're not in the network and you can't be referred, you can certainly pay out of pocket. That's just how I got referred, and it really helped my hip. So I got to know the doctor that ran the group quite well. He's a chiropractor. He also used to be an NHL trainer, so he's a bit of a tyrant at times, but really good and really helpful. So I've known that I was having back problems for, well, my whole life really, because I have scoliosis. And now things are ticked up a little bit because I have this osteoporosis diagnosis, and still, some back issues, and yeah, just wanting to optimize my health. So he and I had chatted before Christmas and sort of decided that he would try and help me with my back, but that I'd wait till I was post-surgery, just so that we could kind of assess where I was at now and gradually build from there. So while I've started going to the gym, I knew before I started like lifting weights or doing anything like that, I probably should get some help. And he would have access to all my medical files too, like the osteoporosis and all my films and all that kind of stuff. So good person to start with. So I went and saw him on Monday, and he said that my back is very tight, which I knew, and I guess I've gotten used to. And I'm used to feeling discomfort. When you have, sort of a chronic condition, you just kind of learn to live with it a little bit. But he said that we can certainly do better than where I'm at, which was great to hear, because I didn't know if that was an expectation I could have or not. And he also said that I needed to slow down a little bit, because it was so tight that with my osteoporosis, I'm really at risk of, I could fracture fairly easy just from the tension in my back. So that was a little bit of an eye-opener, I guess, because he's not a guy who goes easy per se. So he said to me, you know this about me, and if I say it's time to, slow her down a little bit, then that's what, you should really listen. So I took that on board. We kind of negotiated. He wanted me to even do a little less on the treadmill for now, but we kind of negotiated that if I did sort of less resistance. Yeah, so he's suggested that we do like sort of a 6-week program so that he can get some more mobility in my back so that it's safer for me to start loading some weights on, because he definitely agrees that with the osteoporosis I do need to be, lifting weights and that type of thing. So I need to be in best shape for doing that, I guess. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll do a program with him, and he did help even loosen it up. I didn't even realize I could get it that loose. I've done massage for the last couple of years, and that does help at really short term. And it did help seeing him. It lasted a little bit longer, so that was nice. And then Tuesday, I went into the gym. I had done a workout on Monday, and then Tuesday I went in to have an InBody scan. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I don't get too tied up in numbers, but I thought I'd share a little bit with you. For me, I just sort of thought it might be kind of interesting to see where I was 6 weeks after surgery, and then in 12 weeks I'll do it again and see where I'm at. And kind of some of the numbers that might interest you. So my weight, it was 155, which is pretty high for me. And it doesn't bother me in the slightest, to be honest, because it doesn't, to me, it's just a number. But one of the things that he commented on, which totally makes sense, is my water weight. He says in all the years of doing these, he's never seen a water weight this high. So that just tells you, it just kind of confirms to me, I guess, how much I'm struggling with water weight. And in fact, today for church, I put on the skirt, which I really like, but there's about this much I didn't zip up at the top. I could zip it up, but to sit for church and even to sit here right now, it would feel a little snug. And I put boots on, and it was like, whew, there's not much room. And by the time I got home from church, which, was only an hour-long service, and grabbed a few groceries, I had pretty good indentations in my legs. So I'm still working on that. I missed my lymphatic massage this week because I wasn't feeling well, and she came and she took one look at me and said, we're not doing this today. I'll come back next week. So we rebooked. But anyways, back to this InBody scan. So I just want to share, like, at this weight, I think I look pretty average, but according to this, my fat level, I'm above average. So I guess I'm supposed to bring that down. And according to this, I should lose about 20 pounds, 20.5 pounds to be specific. That's what it suggests for me. And again, I don't really care about the numbers. I'm just using it as a comparison for where I'm at. It says my BMI is 25.9. Yeah, what else can I share with you here? I don't know. It gives the, my lean mass and all that type of thing. But really, that's the kind of the funnier things that I thought I would share. So we'll see how I'm doing with the water retention. That's kind of the one I'm most interested in to see change, how much that might change in 12 weeks. So I'm definitely drinking the fluids and trying to release them, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it gets better. Yeah, so that was that InBody scan. I don't know if anyone's ever done it and found that it was, an interesting experiment. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I had my son come and stay with me last week, and he's coming again tomorrow, and he's going to stay a night. And when he comes, we kind of run a bunch of his errands because he comes in from out of town, and then I usually drop him off to volunteer 1 week. So for those of you who don't know, my son's 21, and he has autism and struggles with anxiety and mood and learning issues, that type of thing. So just getting him engaged in the community through volunteering has been really helpful, and hopefully we're working on trying to get him moved back to the city. He's on a waiting list for a program, and then maybe he could look at a part-time job. He enjoys working in the kitchen. Currently what he does volunteering is usually washing dishes and helping with prep and that type of thing, and that's, I think, kind of where he'd like to volunteer if we can find him something. So yeah, that'll be good. So he's coming in tomorrow. I missed a bunch of fun things this week, which made me sad, but yeah, you just got to listen to your health, and yeah, you gotta slow down, because if you don't, your body will make you slow down. Clearly, I thought I was going nice and easy, but I'm still recovering from surgery, and that's put a little pressure probably on my body, and so I need to give myself a little bit of grace and realize that I can't go as fast as I want to go, even if my spirit wants to. My body needs a little bit more rest. And then, yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that too, because I did a little info, or just kind of a beginner resistance training at the gym, and I did that on Tuesday. See, I'm a little all over the place. My brain is still not totally functioning, so forgive me. Anyways, we kind of went through like goals and fitness, and I said I just want to go real slow, real steady, hopefully, and build things up. And he's a man, the fellow that was helping me is a man my age, but very sporty, like runs triathlons and all the rest, and he wanted me to have a sports goal. And I smiled and I said, I don't really have a sports goal. I'm just trying to have the best fitness that I can have. And when we went through the resistance program, I think he was a little stunned at what I could do, which was not the greatest, to be really honest. Very, very beginner. I'm really starting over, and yeah, I think it just kind of goes to show you that people have different perceptions of, they have ideas when they look at you, what they think that you would be capable of. And we certainly learned that he overthought what my abilities would be on every single exercise. We had to decrease the weight that I was capable of doing. And when I literally, I can't even remember which one it was, but I did like 5 pounds. Like that was all I was capable of doing. I couldn't even move it. I think he set it at like 40, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I think it was a chest press or something. Anyways, yeah, I just wasn't capable. My back is not super strong, and I've just had major surgery too, so that kind of affects everything, and we all got to start somewhere. But I did feel a little bit of pressure in that he's like, oh, you can start running outside, and you can get a bike, and you need to get bike shorts, and like he just wanted me to get really sort of engaged in fitness. And I just want to say, like, we need to sort of advocate for ourselves. And I said, I'm really glad that you love those things. That's kind of how I left it, because that's probably not in the cards for me. Having activity is in the cards for me, and optimizing what I can do is definitely in the cards for me. But I'm not going to try and build up to do a triathlon. That's just not been a goal for me, and I need to set my goals realistic. For me, I don't want to live a life of disappointments. I want to challenge myself, and just doing that in the gym, just being regular and consistent with what I do and how I feel my body, and that I move it regularly. And even when I'm struggling to keep at it, I think are good enough goals for me for right now. So I just want to say, no matter your shape or size, I was definitely much stronger when I was um, had greater weight. That's just a reality of where I was at then compared to now. Because I was going to the pool 3 times a week, and I was in the gym twice a week, and I'm doing a big reset right now, and I'm starting at a different place. And I have this new osteoporosis diagnosis that I have to be really cognizant of. So I just want to say, wherever you're at, if you want to start, that's a good enough goal. Starting, getting consistent, figuring out what works for you. And even now, like I wanted to do 3 to 5 workouts a week. Dr. J had me tailor that down to 3, and last week really I did 2. I did 1 cardio session and 1 resistance session, and that was all I was able to do until this UTI and kidney issue hit. And yes, such is life, but I'll get back at it this week, and I'll do what I can when my body's ready to. So I hope I get in 1 or 2 workouts this week, but it might be 1 until I'm ready to get back. And that's just going to be the reality of it. And I can't beat myself up for it. I know that this is a goal of mine, and I'm sticking to it. And sometimes you're going to have speed bumps, and it doesn't mean that I failed. It just means that I've slowed down that goal. And it's just reaching what you want to get to, and not the speed or pace or someone else's opinion. You know what you're up to. All right, so that's my bit on that. The other thing I'm going to share is that this week I'm going to give a talk to a room full of ladies about dating over 50. So I've done one before. I did it, I think that was November that we did the first one. Maybe it was October. No, I think it was November. It was a very snowy day. we had I think 8 ladies turn out, and it went really well. I don't really talk about my dating life. I don't know. It's a difficult thing. But I have dated since I've been on my own here, and I've dated through online dating, and I've dated people that I've met in regular life. Currently, I'm not dating anyone. I dated someone for about 5 months, and I decided, well, really since surgery, that it just wasn't going to be a long-term fit for me, and that I need to be focused on myself right now and my health, and yeah, so just not where I'm at right now. But I will date again, I'm sure, once I'm feeling better and ready. And yeah, so anyways, I do it with a girlfriend of mine. She does most of the organizing on it, and then I do most of the speaking. And we usually go through an agenda of discussing dating readiness, safety, the different ways that you can date, be it online, in person, some of the things to look for, how to set your criteria and your boundaries. Yeah, we just kind of go through an agenda and give the ladies some resources, some different podcasters and bloggers that we have followed that really kind of help navigate some of the intricacies of dating over 50. I mean, usually you're meeting someone who also is left a relationship, and some people are more ready for having a new one than others. There's also family dynamics involved. When do you talk about that with your kids? That type of thing. So we talk about all that, and really it's good to have a support network where you can kind of bounce experiences off of each other, because it can get real confusing out there. So if it interests anyone, or if you know of anyone, I will share details about it. Maybe I'll put a post up in stories. But it's this coming Thursday. We're going to run it at the Signal Hill Library in a private room, and it starts at 6:30, and we usually run for about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, so it's free. I just do it because us women, we need community, and it's a confusing thing to undertake post-divorce. And I'm no expert. Some people have been dating for years, and we all have different dating goals. Some people just enjoy the experience of dating and having short-term companions. Some people are looking for marriage, and that might change depending on where you are in your life. So we talk about all those types of things, and just how, if you're going to online date, how to make the best profile you can, that type of thing, and different experiences with different dating sites. Yeah, so that's something I'm doing this week, and I have tickets to the Calgary Phil on Saturday, and a girlfriend and I are going to that, and it's a tribute to Tina Turner. So I'm really looking forward to that. So a lot of reasons to look after this body of mine, and get to do the fun things. And I already told you I'm looking forward to my daughter coming to visit, and my good girlfriend is coming from PEI. So a lot of reasons to look after myself, and I'm trying to make life a little bit easier. So I'm a person who really likes spring cleaning. Like, I like to get the walls washed and the baseboards done, and I usually do it all myself. And I just realize I'm just not feeling the greatest. And I have the greatest friends and family. My mom's offered to come help. A couple of girlfriends have offered, but I'm gonna get some quotes this week and have someone come and do it for me, because that'll feel like a nice refresh for myself. So you gotta figure out ways to lighten your load if it's feeling a little overwhelming. I'm trying to do that myself, because the weather is gonna stick around and be beautiful. I know this is only false spring, and we're gonna get winter back, but this taste of it just is a good reminder that I want to get out there in the world, and I have to look after my health first and foremost, or I'll be sitting on this couch for longer than I want to. So here's to everyone having a great week and doing what you need for your body and your mental health and your soul. And thank you for joining me here today. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. It's easiest to get me on Instagram, so you can find me there at Pace My Heart. If you want to get the notifications of the Sunday summits, you can subscribe, and I think there's a little subscribe button at the top. And thank you for joining me today, and we'll chat next week. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you soon.